How to rebuild your confidence after life breaks you down. There are moments in life when everything shatters. Your plans, your expectations, even the way you see yourself. Maybe it was a failure, a breakup, a job loss, a rejection that hit deeper than you thought possible. You wake up one day and suddenly, you don't recognize the person in the mirror. The fire you once had, gone. The self-trust you used to carry like armor, cracked. And the worst part, it's not just the world that stopped believing in you. You stop believing in yourself. That's when life gets really quiet, not peaceful, empty, like standing on a stage where the lights went off and the audience disappeared. You feel alone. You feel like it's over. But here's the truth. It's not over. Not even close. Because the story doesn't end when you fall. The story begins when you get back up. Rebuilding your confidence after being broken isn't a motivational quote on Instagram. It's not a quick fix. It's a decision, a war. And every single day you're either fighting for the person you want to become or surrendering to the one life tried to reduce you to. I remember talking to a woman who used to be the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company. She built it from scratch. 20 years of her life poured into it. Then one betrayal from a business partner, and it all collapsed. Overnight, she went from power suits and boardrooms to sweatpants and silence. She told me, I didn't just lose my company, I lost me. But she wasn't done. She didn't stay down. She started consulting small businesses out of her garage. One by one, clients returned. Her reputation rebuilt itself. But her confidence? That took longer. She said, the hardest thing wasn't proving myself to others. It was convincing myself that I was still worth something. And that is the core of rebuilding confidence. Because real confidence isn't loud. It's not cocky. It's not what you show on the outside. It's that quiet belief that no matter what happens, you will rise. Not because you're perfect, but because you refuse to quit. And yes, it starts small. Sometimes the first step is brushing your teeth when you don't feel like getting out of bed. Sometimes it's showing up to a meeting when your hands are still shaking from anxiety. Sometimes it's applying for a job even when you've been rejected 40 times in a row. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting. But every time you do it, you're building something, brick by brick. And those bricks, they become your foundation. Let me tell you about David. He was a professional athlete. He had sponsors, fans, magazine covers, the whole thing. Then he tore his ACL. Career gone. People moved on. The spotlight faded. He told me that the pain wasn't physical. It was watching everyone treat him like he didn't matter anymore. So what did he do? He started coaching kids. At first it was just one or two, then a team. Then he opened a training facility. Today he's not known as the guy who got injured. He's known as the man who changes lives. Confidence doesn't always come back the way it left. Sometimes it returns in a new form, stronger, wiser, more real. And if you're sitting there thinking, yeah, but you don't know what I've been through, you're right, I don't. But I do know this. Everyone who's ever rebuilt themselves had that same moment of doubt, that same whisper in the back of their mind. You're not enough. You failed too much. You'll never be who you used to be. But they chose to push anyway. That's what confidence is. It's not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move despite it. Now let me be clear. This isn't about pretending you're okay. Rebuilding means facing the wreckage. It means grieving what you lost. It means acknowledging the damage. But then, and this part is crucial, it means taking ownership of what comes next. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait for the fear to go away. Start before you believe in yourself. Act like the person you want to become. Speak like them. Walk like them. Show up like them. Because your brain doesn't know the difference between who you are and who you practice being. And the more you act like you have confidence, the more it becomes real. I once worked with a woman who survived a violent relationship. Years of manipulation, control, and trauma. When she left, she had nothing. No money, no home, no support. But she had one thing, a journal. Every day she wrote one thing she did that made her proud. Sometimes it was just, I made it through the day. Other times, I told someone no for the first time. Over time, those pages became proof. Proof that she was rebuilding. Proof that she was still here. Years later, she became a trauma counselor. She helps other women rebuild too. Because she knows and confidence isn't a feeling, it's a practice. You rebuild confidence by keeping promises to yourself, by doing hard things, by getting up every time life knocks you down, even if you're crawling. And one day, you look back and realize you didn't just survive, you rebuilt. You didn't just recover, you rose. And your confidence? It's not what it used to be. It's better because it was forged in fire. And that kind of strength, it doesn't fade. It doesn't depend on applause. It doesn't break when life throws its worst. It becomes who you are.